A lot of very prominent newspapers, websites, and TV shows led the public to believe Trump colluded with Russia to win the election.
We were treated unbelievably unfairly, and you have to understand, we first went through Russia, Russia, Russia.
Here we've got a list of things that could possibly connect Trump to Vladimir Putin.
And for MSNBC commentator Rachel Maddow, it became her bread and butter.
Russians rush against the U.S. The Russian government scheme. The Russians, Vladimir Putin, Russia. Vladimir Putin, Putin and Russia.
Putin and Russia. The Soviet Empire.
That was all from just one episode of her show.
Is a Trump apologist, and stupid people run around saying the words Russian hoax, as if it completely obliterates everything Donald Trump and his campaign did during the 2016 campaign, which, by the way, the Republican Intel Committee took apart bit by bit and considered it a threat to America. The Republican Intel Committee took apart bit by bit and considered it a threat to America.
NBC News exclusive reporting on the Senate Intelligence Committee, their investigation into Russian election interference and what they have and have not uncovered. So, Ken, what are you hearing? What are you learning?
The Senate Intelligence Committee has not uncovered any direct evidence of a conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russia. That's according to sources on both the Republican and the Democratic side of the aisle.
Part of the sickness of what the country has been through in the Trump years was his ability to change our mind about what was wrong.
I just want to read from Marco Rubio's Senate Intel Committee report. Just a couple of things here. I'm going to start with something I have, and then we'll put up a full screen. The committee found that Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered Russian effort to hack computer networks and accounts affiliated with the Democratic Party and leak information damaging to Hillary Clinton and her campaign for president, so said the Republican Senate Intel Committee. Moscow's intent was to harm the Clinton campaign, so said Marco Rubio's Senate Intel Committee run by Republicans.
Over the last 3 years, the Senate Intelligence Committee conducted a bipartisan and thorough investigation into Russian efforts to influence the 2016 election. We found absolutely no evidence whatsoever that Donald Trump or his campaign colluded with Russia to meddle in our elections.
So, David, in the words of Aristotle, anybody suggesting that this Russia thing was a hoax, they're just spreading horse shit. That's all they're doing.
The FBI made some very troubling mistakes, especially by relying on a Steele dossier against the advice of the CIA and without verifying this foreign document or the sources that were used to create it.
A narrative started to develop among the mainstream media based on the idea that the Trump-Russia collusion story was definitely true, even if the evidence wasn't clear. And this became one of the biggest problems with the Russiagate reporting. And after 2 years of this, Mueller and his team, who were assigned to investigate this impartially, finally reached their conclusion. The investigation did not establish that members of the Trump campaign conspired or coordinated with the Russian government in its election interference activities.
They're just spreading horse shit.
Now, get this. While the Democrats were smearing Trump with false Russia allegations, they were the ones rubbing elbows with Russians and spreading false information in the media. And, of course, the media, as we know, gladly ran with that information. My oversight work, dating back to December 2016, has focused on the Democratic parties and Clinton's campaigns linked to the Steele dossier. Last Congress, Senator Johnson and I obtained many records relating to Crossfire Hurricane. Some of the declassified records show that the FBI had reports in its hand that showed the Steele dossier was most likely tainted with Russian disinformation.
Hillary Clinton and the DNC paid for millions of dollars, the fake dossier. And now Christopher Steele admits that it's a fake.
All of this, what does this mean? This was the Clinton campaign's dossiers. It was the dirt. It was a phony story that they sold not only to the American people, but they sold it and corrupted our FBI, where it appears like these dirty cops were more than willing to take this information and present it to the FISA court.
Americans were led to expect, this is a very legalistic country, Americans were led to expect that there would be criminal charges, that there would be a criminal case. And I spent 3 years warning that that's not going to be so. You're not going to be able to formulate the elements of crimes here. It's a counterintelligence threat. It's a security threat. It's a loyalty threat. It is not illegal for an American businessman to do business with shady Russian characters. It's not illegal for him maybe to owe them money. It's not illegal for him to hope for a giant payday if he does what they want. None of those things are crimes. And it's not a crime to talk to other people about it. It doesn't become a conspiracy because you bring other people into it.
As to the 3 indictments that John Durham has issued, I believe he's built a sort of triangle of indictments, as I call them. At the top of the pyramid, you have Sussman, who represents an indictment of the Hillary Clinton campaign, the DNC, the law firm, and Fusion GPS, funneling tens of millions of dollars to perpetuate the biggest fraud in American history into the FBI. The bottom 2 pillars of the Durham triangle, I believe, are the John Durham's indictment of the FBI attorney, which is literally an indictment of the FBI and now a criminal conviction for lying to a federal court to perpetuate a fraud and get a FISA warrant falsely. The last leg of the Durham triangle comes in the form of his recent indictment of Danchenko. Who's Danchenko and why does it matter? Danchenko is Steele's main source, introduced to Steele by Fiona Hill, who Steele relied on to write his dossier, in which he said Steele received credible information from Danchenko. We now know Danchenko's a liar. We also know, because of the Durham investigation, Danchenko provided no credible information to Christopher Steele. So his credibility has been destroyed, and these merchants of menace are finally coming to light thanks to John Durham's great work. And he's got a long way to go. And I'm glad he's getting the the information that Rod Rosenstein and Chris Wray intentionally withheld from Chairman Nunes in our investigation during Russiagate probe.
Bitch ass niggas.
It was all bullshit.
Coca-Cola telling people they should be less white. They preach intolerance, but if you disagree, they fight. There's a race war here, elections based on fear. Black lives only matter once every 4 years. Soldiers died for this country, and every one of us benefits. Give welfare to the bums and forget about the veterans. Black folks and white folks divided by the news, but we are all the same. We are red, white, and blue. Ashamed to be American? Okay, that's cool. Because honestly, we are all ashamed of you too.
Y'all are so fake. Oh no. The forecast said that there'd be snowflakes. Whoa, you can make us see it your way. No way, gasoline and propane, more flames. Oh no, no more snowflakes.
They set us up to fail, that's what they built the system for. Put an ammunition shop across the street from a liquor store. Empowering women.